Have you ever felt truly alone? The kind of loneliness that wraps around you like a thick fog, isolating you from the world. It's a feeling we all know, a universal ache of the human heart. But what if this emptiness, this isolation, is not a punishment but an invitation? What if God, in His infinite wisdom, uses loneliness to draw us closer to Him? This isn't about toxic positivity or dismissing the very real pain of isolation. It's about exploring the possibility of a deeper purpose in our loneliness. A purpose that, once embraced, can lead to profound spiritual growth and an unbreakable bond with the divine. Let's journey together into the heart of loneliness and uncover the truth behind its grip on our souls. We've all seen it. The vacant stare of a stranger in a crowded room, the forced smile masking a deep well of loneliness. It's a silent epidemic, this feeling of being unseen, unheard, unknown. We build walls, fearing vulnerability, and in doing so, trap ourselves in fortresses of isolation. The Bible itself is filled with stories of men and women grappling with loneliness. From David's cries for deliverance to Elijah's retreat into the wilderness, the scriptures offer a raw and honest portrayal of this universal human experience. These stories remind us that we are not alone in our loneliness. Even those who walked closely with God knew the sting of isolation. One story, in particular, offers a profound perspective on the purpose of loneliness. The story of Jesus seeking solitude in the stillness of the early morning. Sarah, a young woman with kind eyes and a gentle spirit, knew the weight of loneliness all too well. The loss of her grandmother, her only confidant, had left a gaping hole in her life. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and still the ache of emptiness lingered. Church gatherings, once a source of comfort, now amplified her sense of isolation. Surrounded by smiling faces and cheerful greetings, Sarah felt like an imposter, her internal world a stark contrast to the outward joy she witnessed. "Where are you, God?" she whispered one particularly difficult evening, tears streaming down her face. "Why do I feel so alone?" Little did Sarah know that her desperate plea was about to be answered, not through a grand gesture or a booming voice from the heavens, but through a simple, profound passage of Scripture. One morning, as Sarah listlessly scrolled through her phone, her eyes fell upon a verse she had read countless times before, but had never truly resonated with. Mark chapter 1, verse 35. Very early in the morning, while it was still dark, Jesus got up, left the house, and went off to a solitary place where he prayed. The words seemed to leap off the screen, a lifeline thrown to a drowning woman. Jesus, the Son of God, the epitome of love and compassion, knew the depths of solitude. He too sought solace in the stillness, in the quiet embrace of his Father's presence. A glimmer of hope flickered within Sarah's heart. Could it be that her loneliness was not a sign of God's absence, but rather an opportunity for deeper intimacy with him? The realization struck Sarah like a bolt of lightning. Loneliness could be a sacred space, a sanctuary for the soul to connect with the divine. It wasn't about physical isolation, but about creating an internal space of stillness. A space where, the noise of the world faded away, and the whispers of God's love could finally be heard. Just as Jesus sought solitude to commune with his Father, Sarah realized that she too could use her moments of loneliness to draw closer to God. She began to view her quiet evenings not as punishments, but as opportunities to pour out her heart to the one who understood her deepest longings. This shift in perspective didn't magically erase Sarah's loneliness, but it did transform it. It became less about the absence of others and more about the presence of God. The silence that had once been deafening now held a new kind of beauty. It was in the stillness that Sarah began to hear God's voice more clearly, not through thunderous pronouncements, but through gentle whispers carried on the wind, through the beauty of a sunrise, through the comforting words of Scripture. She discovered that God often speaks most clearly in the silence, when the clamour of our anxieties and desires is quieted. It is in these moments of solitude that we can truly listen, truly receive the love and guidance that God longs to pour into our hearts. Loneliness, once a heavy burden, began to feel lighter, like a chrysalis slowly cracking open, revealing the beauty of transformation within. As Sarah delved deeper into her relationship with God, she discovered a profound truth. Within the depths of our loneliness lies a divine echo of God's own heart. For God himself knows the depths of solitude, having willingly sent his only Son to walk among us, to experience the full spectrum of human emotion, including the ache of isolation. It is in our shared experience of loneliness that we find a profound connection with the divine. It is a reminder that we are not alone in our suffering, that even in our darkest moments, God is present, walking alongside us, offering comfort and strength. Loneliness, then, becomes not a curse but a bridge, a path that leads us directly into the heart of God. So, dear reader, I ask you, how do you view your own experiences of loneliness? Do you see them as punishments to be endured, or as opportunities for introspection, for spiritual growth, for deepening your relationship with God? Perhaps it's time to reframe our understanding of loneliness. Instead of fearing it, we can choose to embrace it as a sacred space, a time to sit with our thoughts and emotions, to listen to the whispers of our hearts, and most importantly, to listen to the voice of God speaking to us in the silence. The truth is, we all experience loneliness at different points in our lives. It is a universal human experience, as natural as joy or sorrow. But it is in how we choose to respond to loneliness that we determine its impact on our lives. Instead of allowing loneliness to isolate us, we can choose to see it as an invitation to draw closer to God, to seek solace in His presence, and to allow His love to fill the empty spaces within our hearts. Take heart, dear reader, for you are not alone in your loneliness. God is with you, even in the stillness, even in the silence. Open your heart to Him, and you will discover that what you thought was emptiness is actually an opportunity for the most profound intimacy you could ever experience. Intimacy with the God who created you, who loves you, and who longs to draw you closer to Himself. Let your loneliness be transformed from a place of isolation to a place of intimacy, a sacred space where you encounter the love that conquers all fear, all doubt, all loneliness.